I want to turn now and talk about Sidney Powell, though, and election fraud evidence. Sidney Powell has been on the show many times. She's smart as they come. The attorney for Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, clearly recognized one of the top attorneys in the country, and most definitely a very, very savvy and brave attorney. She will speak up and speak truth, even when the left is just trying to silence her. She will speak up. She will speak truth. I want to play something that so she's been talking on the news shows. I want to start. So Matt the Wonderful. I don't know if we were able to get that Bartiromo clip. We could not get it. I can't tell.
We got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay. So let me just tell you. So what happened? So Sidney Powell is now working directly for President Trump, helping out with this attempt to expose the unbelievable attempt to steal this election. So here she is. I don't know if y'all will find the right clip, but anyway, Maria Bartiromo has Sidney Powell on. I want to ask her. We'll see. I sent a clip that didn't end up working, so we believe we found another one. Let's see how that goes. With this, Sidney Powell and Maria Bartiromo.
Well, let me put it this way. First of all, I never say anything I can't prove. Secondly, the evidence is coming in so fast, I can't even process it all. Millions of Americans have written, I would say by now.
Keep going.
Definitely hundreds of thousands have stepped forward with their different experiences of voter fraud. But this is a massive election fraud, and I'm very concerned it involved not only Dominion and its Smartmatic software, but that the software essentially was used by other election machines also. It's the software that was the problem. Even their own manual explains how votes can be wiped away. They can it's like drag and drop Trump votes to a separate folder and then delete that folder. It's absolutely brazen how people bought this system and why they bought this system. In fact, every state that bought Dominion for sure should have a criminal investigation, or at least a serious investigation of the officers in the states who bought the software. We've even got evidence of some kickbacks, essentially.
Okay, I know we can play her the rest of the time. What she is saying, and you got to know Sidney Powell, this is not some first-year law student who's trying to make a name for himself or herself. This is one of the premier lawyers in this country, and she'll sit right there, look at the camera, and tell you she is getting, as she says, thousands of affidavits, the evidence, and she said it in several different shows, as flat out as this. President Trump won this election in a landslide. She's seen the data. She's telling America he won this election in a landslide. The manipulation, the electronic manipulation of voter tabulation software, which 2 years ago was proven by Russ Ramsland, shown on my show, shown on many other shows. And in fact, I want to urge you to go, if you are listening to this, you have any doubt or you want to understand better, go to my website, americachemitalk.org, and on the homepage under shows, drop down list of links. You'll see a brilliant article my husband wrote a year ago or more at the time this was first being exposed. And he did a really good job laying out a pretty complex thing in very understandable layman's terms. Read the articles linked on our website today. But listen to what I am saying. There is no chance on the planet that Sidney Powell, as she just said, she would not say these things. She said, I never say anything I cannot prove. And she did not. She went on to say in this interview later, she went on to say that very suspicious financial decisions made in various states, purchasing this software when they were well aware that it was easily corruptible, and in fact, they could use it to their advantage. She's questioning some government officials who authorized the purchase of this election software in America. She is talking about a massive investigation needed over who would allow the purchase of this software when it's well known it was created. She says, created for the purpose of being able to basically steal elections, to manipulate data to get the result that you want. So she actually used, I don't have all that clip, but she did say, if states are stupid enough to certify these elections, that the certifications will be set aside by the fraud. She's talking massive fraud in this election cycle. President Trump won the election in a landslide. Votes were stolen. They have statistical evidence, and they're able to present it. When Bartiromo asked her, well, you know, we're in a little bit of a time bind here because December 14th, you have to be able, December 14th, the Electoral College meets. So how are you going to prove it before December 14th? And she just said, I cannot reveal that on a national television show. People, I am telling you, the leaders of the radical left in this country, every single person, aware or complicit, is quaking in their boots at this moment because this woman does not back down. She is smarter than all of them put together. She's seen the evidence. She has seen the very evidence I showed on my show, the Russ Ramsland evidence created by his group. And she's the one telling Trump, yeah, you know what? This was manipulated and you won, and this is why he is not backing down. I want to clip. This is a very, I don't know if we can get to the part about the Kraken. And if we can't, it's okay. I'll just tell you. Sidney Powell, no, actually, this is in Lou Dobbs. Do you have the Lou Dobbs clip, Matt the Wonderful?
Yes.
Let's do that. Let's do what Sidney Powell said on Lou Dobbs, and we'll talk about that.
It's been organized and conducted with the help of Silicon Valley people, the big tech companies, the social media companies, and even the media companies. And I'm going to release the Kraken.
Okay. So release the Kraken. I have to tell you, back to the march in Washington, we were with one friend and other people had signs, release the Kraken. And you're like, what the heck is that? I'd never heard the expression before. So there is actually a word, Kraken, which it relates to. It's a mythical thing. The Scandinavian countries had used this term. It was a myth about some just enormous creature in the sea that could rise up from the sea and consume everything. And it's been in various movies. And sometimes, so the expression came when we released the Kraken, like bring up this enormous monster. It's going to crush all of them. I sent Matt a quick clip from YouTube to show you what the Kraken is. Okay, that is what she said, release the Kraken. It's become now a term. I mean, it's probably going wild on Twitter, but it's the idea that, you know, we're going to unleash all the giant monster, which is basically the American people standing up. The truth of America is going to come out. So actually, Matt, the other thing on Lou Dobbs, and there's an earlier clip that of Sidney Powell and Lou Dobbs. I don't know if you have that one. Dominion created things to be fraudulent. Do you have that?
Yep.
Well, I can hardly wait to put forth all the evidence we have collected on Dominion, starting with the fact it was created to produce altered voting results in Venezuela for Hugo Chavez, and then shipped internationally to manipulate votes for purchase in other countries, including this one. It was funded by money from Venezuela and Cuba, and China has a role in it also. So if you want to talk about foreign election interference, we certainly have it now. We have staggering statistical evidence. We have staggering testimony from witnesses, including one who was personally in briefings when all of this was discussed and planned, beginning with Hugo Chavez and how it was designed there, and then saw it happening in this country. As soon as the state shut down on election night and stopped counting, those are the states where the most egregious problems occurred. We also need to look at, and we're beginning to collect evidence on the financial interests of some of the governors and secretaries of state who actually bought into the Dominion systems. Well, for fraud this serious, I think even if the states are stupid enough to go ahead and certify the votes where we know the machines were operating and producing altered election results, if they're stupid enough to do that, then they will be set aside by the fraud also. I mean, we are talking about hundreds of thousands of votes. President Trump won this election in a landslide. It's going to be irrefutable, and patriots are coming forward every day, all day, faster than we can collect their information with the testimony they're willing to give under oath about how their votes were stolen and how the machines operated. We've got statistical evidence that shows hundreds of thousands of votes being just put in and replicated. It's going to be, there needs to be a massive criminal investigation, and it's going to affect millions of voters and elections. We are on the precipice of, this is essentially a new American revolution. And anybody who wants this country to remain free needs to step up right now. These are federal felonies. Altering a vote or changing a ballot is a federal felony. People need to come forward now and get on the right side of this issue and report the fraud they know existed in Dominion voting systems, because that's what it was created to do. It was its sole original purpose. It has been used all over the world to defy the will of people who wanted freedom.
Okay, folks, God bless that woman. She is just a one woman. She is going to get to the bottom of everything. She already is. I'm well aware she is on top of things, and there is going to be in the next few weeks a lot of Americans going to wake up and understand, if they have been so far thinking that all of the opposition to the election outcome and all the unwillingness for President Trump to concede is just sour grapes or childishness or some other crazy thing. There are a lot of Americans going to have their eyes open over the next few weeks. It's better for America, even if we face more tumult and violence. It is vital and essential for the continued existence of America as a country rooted in freedom, the promise of individual liberty, the promise of the idea that we, the people, are the ultimate governor. The only way that we can hold on to America, keep America, is to have every last bit of fraud uncovered, everybody involved indicted. There is no other way. I am thankful beyond words that President Trump has connected with Sidney Powell on this, that she's helping him. I'm telling you, folks, it's going to be something to behold.